What's up, YouTube? Southern Geek coming to you with a new comic book day haul. That's right. We had to go out of town this week, so wasn't able to get by on the normal day. But the main thing was, just like I say, as long as you watch the video, we appreciate you. And as long as I get by the LCS owner appreciates me. So got up to the LCS today and some more mail packages in the mail. But before we get into all that, I've got to give the obligatory smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notifications. Like this drop ever so randomly, you are one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. And we've already got some people filling in here. Las Cruces 1971 up in the house. Got Perry lurking and maybe twerking. We got Captain Comics. Happy birthday, Captain Comics. Flash by Night. Yes, Flash by Night. Check him out. Been dropping some more content lately and hit the 100 sub club. So congratulations there. Ruben Guzman, Cowabunga. What is going on? See, Captain Comics already beat me to it. Soul twice. What it do? Pikachu. Yeah, there you go. Rhyming all the time. C3 Comics. Howdy. What is going on? Yeah, something like that. But anyway, yeah, so be sure to enter that 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We are currently at 919 subscribers, so be sure to enter that 1,000 subscriber giveaway before it is too late. What's going on, man? I was up in your chat earlier where you were showing off some comics. So now I am doing the same thing, although I don't have my little one with me. They must be down for a nap. Talking about little ones. So on the toys, I waffle back and forth as to whether or not to open them and pose them and all that kind of stuff. As opposed to leaving them in the box. And I think I've explained this it's not really my birthday. It's just a joke. This is a running joke. But anyway, so I think I've explained this before, but if it's a box that's open, then I can kind of unobtrusively, take them out that I do. So I was kind of waiting because I was getting all 3 pieces of the Batmobile to do this. And my little one, I blame the 3-year-old because he came in here earlier and was saying, "Ooh, look at her," and I came back and this was like this in my chair. I think he is struck. He was trying to get in there. And he, makes the sounds like, all that kind of good stuff. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So let's talk some new comic books. So I was not able to get to the comic shop last weekend. I went Tuesday, so all I got was my DC. Did not get any Marvel indie stuff. And then this week I was out of town on that Wednesday too. And so I've got 2 weeks. 2 weeks worth of comics here. No spoilers. But if you read any of this and it was good, let me know, because I always like to try to prioritize my reading to this. So Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood. Been digging this Black, White, and Blood series. Just some short stories with classic Wolverine. Several of them with good art, good storylines, just good. Nothing, earth-shattering, nothing that is going to change the course of Wolverine's life, nor it says it will. It's just stories involving those characters, so that's kind of nice. Star Wars number 12. So this Operation Starlight, Reflections of the Lost. So this is before the Bounty Hunters tie-in, I'm guessing. So been enjoying the current Star Wars deal. Well, my wife's like, "Well, what do you do?" And to me, like the little ones, I mean, I find it cool that they want to play the same things Dad does, right? But like no, like my 3-year-old likes to read, unlike the rest of my kids, and so he wants to get comic books. It's like, okay, here's a $1 book. Here, you go read this, but Don't touch the rest of the stuff. Bounty Hunters number 10. Of the 3 that I get, Star Wars series, so Star Wars, Bounty Hunters, and Darth Vader. Okay, so 4 because I got Knights of the Old Republic. So this, of the 3, so take out Knights of the Old Republic because it's still too early. This is probably my least favorite. I mean, the last story arc ended and it's kind of We'll see with the Bounty Hunter's tale and talking about Bounty Hunters in a Bounty Hunters comic book if it picks back up. Thor number 13. So been digging Donny Cates' run on Thor. I did get some spoilers on this, and what's up, Who Dat? Up in the house? It's good. I did get some spoilers on this issue of Thor, so I'm probably going to put it towards the top of the stack of this. And then I'm also excited about this. Might not be excited past the first couple of issues, but Darkhawk number 1, the past, present, and future collides. Future fate of Darkhawk is revealed. In Hook Lee cover right there. But it's got some Mike Manley, who was the guy who originally done Darkhawk, because a lot of the early Darkhawk that he done was like on point, at least in my mind, because it's sharp points on his helmet and so forth. Later iterations were like rounded helmets, and I just didn't really dig it. But Dan Abnett writing some, Kyle Higgins, and then covered by In Hook Lee. So there must be some little stories in there. So pretty cool. Fresh News 247. What is up? What is up? Walking Dead Deluxe. Again, I keep procrastinating. Every time I think about it is when I buy the next one. But been enjoying the story. Didn't get into it back in the day when it first came out. Just doing it now. But loving the cliffhangers. X-Force 18. So the X titles are starting to disappoint me. As a long X-Men fan, and y'all know how much X-Men I have, or how many X-Men I have, that it's really disappointing. It's just very lackluster, most of the titles. It happens from time to time. I was really excited when Jonathan Hickman was really leading it. Doesn't seem like he's at the helm no more, just the way it's going. I mean, is he mailing it in? Is he just cashing the checks? What's he doing? I don't know. Ben Percy stuff on X-Force and Wolverine have been good. X-Men, which is the one he does, or at least has his name on it, it's been okay. Hellions has been surprisingly good. Marauders is hit and miss for me. So I don't know. And then now they got this Hellfire Gala. It just doesn't sound like it's really that interesting. There's got to be some point to where, and I know that superheroes dying and coming back is not a new thing in comics. It happens all the time, but you don't know when it'll happen. Like now, basically, and it was okay that they kind of pushed the reset button and by being able to do that, but there's got to be a point where you say, okay, we can't do that no more. And so that there's more gravitas to the story. Louis the 13th, what is up? What is up? Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon. So Larry Hama is writing on this. Still kind of early to tell whether it's going to be really good or not. I think it is a mini series, which, if we were all truthful, most of the stuff, whether it says it is or not, is a mini series with Marvel these days, because they just love issuing new issue ones because people buy issue ones. But interesting premise. And so we'll see. Comic pop fans. Sword, X-Men, Children of the Atom, they are really good. We are in phase 2, the multi-phase story, so don't stress out too much. Yeah, and sometimes, but well, if you think about it though, a lot of times the middle story is the good one. Well, I mean, look at Empire Strikes Back, right? I was interested to see what they do with the Nightcrawler series. We call it Sword of X, maybe. Got TMNT 115. I've got to get this is the one series that I continue to get, yet I am so far behind on reading. I think because I missed an issue or two here and there, and I wanted to get those to be able to read them sequentially. Then we've got Savage #2. So that is this was since Valiant no longer owned the rights to Turok, they had to come up or wanted to come up with something very similar kind of character, and they came up with Savage. They just recently brought him back, so it's only on issue 2, as you saw. Way of X, maybe, yeah, I think that's the name of it. Okay. Well, there's certain ones, I have not liked Excalibur since day one. I got issue 1. I just didn't like it. I don't like Teenie Howard, the way she does stuff. The only thing that keeps me buying, and they're strictly cover buys, are Rogue and Gambit covers on the Excalibur stuff. And I dropped Marauders, but I'm kind of on the fence about it. New Mutants, I dropped it too. So this has been a surprise fun one. And so this is Erratic #4 of 5. And so this is one of AWA Upshots, which on the back, I wanted to get this Redemption one. I missed #1 of it. And I got Chariot, and it was pretty good. So interesting read. Just a fun read, And then let's see. C3 says, "Is anyone excited about Chip Zdarsky jumping on Spider-Man?" So is Chip Zdarsky, is he the one that's going to be writing Amazing Spider-Man now? Because if so, that's awesome, because he's done a good job with Daredevil, and with Chip Zdarsky, he did a short story in the recent Batman. What was the name of that? It just came out last week. But it did a short story with the Red Hood in it, and I really liked it. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. Dropped all of them except Wolverine. Okay. Okay. Or are you talking about nonstop nonstop Spider-Man? Is that what he's on with Chip Zdarsky? That is. Then we've got Bloodshot #12. So this is also featuring a backup story from YouTube's Comic Storian. So Comic Storian, he does some dramatic readings and stuff like that, explaining comic books on online. And so I knew that they were doing this, and so I thought that was pretty cool. But I was going to get Bloodshot anyway. But I mean, I thought that was additionally kind of cool. Bloodshot is. Tim Seeley usually writes it. I guess he still is. Yeah, Tim Seeley is still writing it. So yeah, I'm not sure about this new exosuit. We'll see. Jury's still out for me on it. But hey, I'm still picking it up right now. I hate comic. So Immoral Hulk #44. This is the Alex Ross cover. You can tell he's sitting there reading it. I wonder if he's liking it. He's like, yeah, must be a lackluster issue, maybe. I had ordered the Joe Bennett homage cover, and it's on back order or something. Supposedly it's going to be there. Supposedly I'm going to get it. But what's going on? Two Brothers Comics up in the house. Up in the house. And I come on to Immortal. Well, I read the early Immortal Hulk stuff, but as far as coming to collect it, came on pretty late on it. Just kind of been picking up the here and there. Okay, so there's Chip Zdarsky, Spider-Man, Spider Shadow that we were talking about earlier, and there's Way of X. Let's see who's on Way of X. Simon Spurrier. I should know that name from somewhere. Didn't recognize the rest of them. And then we're going to make Miles Morales go through the Clone Saga. Poor Miles. Has to go through the same stuff Peter does. Women of Marvel. Okay. Uh, only read Immoral She-Hulk. Okay. It got to that point though, and my understanding, because I had that same deal, because at first you really didn't get all that, and then you got got them trying to make a statement. It was like a little too real, close to home type deal, with what was going on with the riots and stuff at that time. And then, uh, from what I understand from other people that have read it, they were like, okay, they kind of backed off that, and kind of went back and went back to the drawing board, went back to what they knew how to do. Um, oh yeah, Iron Man. Yeah, I can't pick it up. I'm like, I'm not going to get on that rant again. I done it one day. I got on that rant, but to me, not that Hellcat was that big of a character for me. Which, by the way, I really like those. Who done those? That Spider Woman and the Hellcat one, and the She Hulk one. I think they came out this week, um, or maybe last week. But I got on that rant. Been reading a lot of Image. Hey, I've been reading more and more indies, and if you want to count Image into indies, then yeah, like Something's Killing the Children. Boom is doing, no, or is that's Boom? But Gideon Falls ended. Oblivion Song. I'm reading now. I'm reading The Walking Dead. So a lot of the indie stuff has been really good. And I think that Marvel and DC are driving some of the better people to do their own stuff. And, we'll see how it goes. Janald, what is up? I see T. Vinny. You knew who I'm talking about. Yeah, Jim Bartell. The name was just like right there. It just couldn't be there. Yeah, well, Image is the third largest, and so some people was like, well, that's not indie anymore. But yeah, I mean, it still technically is. But a lot of these newer, smaller companies like AWA Upshot and Mad Cave and all these other ones are really starting to put out a lot of good stuff. So this came from Mr. Tacoma Comics. Tacoma and had been building. I had been building a box with Tacoma for a while. Thought I had more stuff in it. Well, of course it didn't. And so just trying to build up a box and make it different. And he has decided that he was going to take a break from the auctions thing for a little while. So I said, well, let me go ahead and get my comics. Yeah, Ice Cream Man. Every time, it's like, oh, what was that book? What was that book? Yeah, Ice Cream Man was a pretty fun one. The new Snyder book, yeah, Nocturna. Yeah, it seemed interesting. It's an interesting premise. I started collecting original Hulk. This is your fault. I don't collect Hulk, right? That's what I say. That's what I tell people like Legion of Comics. I don't collect Hulk. I don't collect Hulk. Yeah, I'm kind of on a Hulk kick. Hulk and Transformers seem to be my shtick right now. I'm still working on finishing the Batman 200. So I'll have 200 to 713. I only have not that many left, but I'm collecting them organically, so it's not like you run across those issues all the time. So Transformers and Hulk, I've got enough holes in there that's pretty easy to find. Not so much on Transformers, but on Hulk, there's a lot of stuff you can find in really good deals on, like dollar bin finds to fill in those gaps and stuff. So that's pretty good. Yeah. What does everyone think of Walking Dead Deluxe? It's cool, but it's feeling like, wait, another second. Yeah, and see, I didn't read it before, and so it's all new to me. And I like it, and I like the David Finch covers. That's the ones I get. And so I keep telling myself, get the big ones, because the color really doesn't matter to me. So I can deal without the color, but space wise, there's going to come a point where I'm like, okay, something's got to give. So I thought, well, get the deluxe editions. They're probably going to be cheaper doing it that way, and you don't have to wait from month to month to month. But I keep forgetting about it until the next issue comes out, and then I go, okay, here we go again. Here we go again. All right, so this is what I picked up from Tacoma Comics. Wildcats Trilogy #3. That's a Jay Lee cover, I believe. Yep, Jay Lee. And this is one of those covers that it's the first Prism cover ever. And this is one of those covers that I pick up on every time I can find it on the cheap. And Tacoma had a Wildcats thing up, and I picked it up. So yeah, this other one, Wildcats Special #1. Also got from him Star Wars #9. That's from the Jason Aaron run of Star Wars, so volume 2. And then this is Magnus, the robot fighter, from Gold Key Comics. And so when I can find them on the cheap, I pick up the Gold Key Valiant characters. So that's Magnus, Turok, and Solar. And so he threw that up, and I snagged it up. And if you've ever been in a YouTube auction, you know that a lot of times people will say, well, hey, could you check page 13 or the Rusty Staples as a joke. So this one, I got him. I said, what's the issue number? And he goes, I can't find it. That's because Gold Key doesn't put them on the front there. So I got him with that one. But this is issue. I was able to pull it up on my CLZ app. And this is issue 23. August of 1968. So 10 years before I was born. So that's pretty cool. Look at that, Legion of Comics. See, I pulled him up out of the ether. And so, yeah, great covers. Like I said, this was only $5. Picked it up on the cheap. And so, yeah, well, I didn't know if I was going to be able to pull you out of the ether with the Hulk comments I was making earlier. I should have said something about the Snyder cut. Maybe that would have got you in on it. But at least Magnus got you going. The only thing that, if you want to count original art, is sketch covers. So I'll buy sketch covers, and then I will get typically at a con, but I have had some where I've gotten the artist to do them and mail them to me. And so those are the only kind I collect. I don't collect like original art pages. Just it's kind of odd shaped and hard to store, and I have no place to put them on the wall. So what's up, Off-World Adam? What is up? So those are the ones that I got from Tacoma Comics. Let's see. This is from a guy that goes by Comic Tunnel on Instagram. David Ewan, what's up? Huh. I have to check that out. Fresh news. You just brought me some fresh news. So this guy goes by Comic Tunnel over on Instagram. He'll routinely put up books. Typically, they are inexpensive books. Legion, you're not supposed to be looking at these because I know what's in here, and you're going to say, "Oh yeah, you don't collect Hulk, huh?" Oh, okay. But these it's funny because he just sent this, and then I posted something he ended up buying from me. So yeah, exactly. And see, that's kind of my deterrent, because I'm like, I buy this and it's like, I can't enjoy it, and it costs so much. I want to be able to enjoy it. Whereas a comic book, the storage space, I got that, or I can read it and enjoy it. That's kind of just been my thing, at least in the past. No, not yet, Legion. Not yet, but I've heard a lot of good things. All right, so we got Highlander. There can be only one, but actually there's two. And if you're of a certain age, as soon as I said that, there can be only one. Here we are. Yeah, that Queen song just went off in your head, didn't it? Don't lie. Don't lie. Art, bikes, and comics. What is up? What is up? Speaking of comics that I will buy if I find them on the cheap, we got Wildcats number 4, newsstand. Then we've got Ninjak, the chromium cover. Then we got Amazing Spider-Man number 2. Not collecting ASM. I just knew I was buying that other stuff, and I could sell it for more than what he had it for sale for. So that was the only reason I got that. So then I got Incredible Hulk 121. Within the swamp there stirs the glob, not to be confused with the blob, and not to be confused with the man thing or the swamp thing or any other thing that looks all nasty and swampy that comes from the swamps. But you got Incredible Hulk 121, 15-cent goodness right there, right there, right there. Then I got Incredible Hulk 343, some Todd Father goodness on Hulk with the Gray Hulk going on here. Look at Hulk. Then we got Incredible Hulk 341. I don't collect Hulk. I don't collect Hulk. So that's what I'm telling. I'm telling you. I'm telling me. I'm telling myself. So this is Incredible Hulk 341. Some more Todd Father work. Obviously, the big book 340 is right before this, and yep. And so that's what I was talking about with Hulk. There's just so many gaps that I have, and still a lot of those. There's really not that many big books in Hulk unless you count Tales to Astonish. And then then this comes through. Tales to Astonish. I don't have any Tales to Astonish right now. The oldest Hulk that I have is Hulk number 1. Old enough, right? And so not sure on the Tales to Astonish thing. We'll see. And the thing with the Tales to Astonish thing is, and I would, if I want to admit to myself that I'm collecting Hulk now, I would say that I'm soft collecting it, meaning that if I'm buying something else that I really want, let's get it thrown in there. If I can find it on the super cheap, let's get it. But as far as me committing big dollars to big books in that run, I'm not there yet, if that makes sense. With my X-Men run, when I was completing it, I had committed, big bucks. So like if I found an Uncanny X-Men that I didn't have, I'm getting it. Okay. The 1s, the 4, giant size, all that kind of stuff. So I'm committed. But with Hulk, I'm not there yet. So I've seen a Hulk number 6 multiple times and have passed it up as an example. Tales to Astonish is another one. They're not that expensive, most of them. You got the first leader and you got the first Abomination, which I need to go ahead and get both of. But outside of that, you can generally find one because I'm not like a 9.8, guy that has to have everything. That high. So, I believe low grade's better than no grade. So if I get that, then, in 3 or 4, if it presents well, I'm good with it. Throw it in a Mylar, call it a day. So if I can get those, generally 20 to 40 bucks. But I just haven't committed that money to them yet. Admit to yourself, yes, they say admittance is the first step to change, right? Hulk's 168 is a key. Okay. Varangian Vigilante, what is up? What is up? Road to 1,000 sub. Yes, please do. Is Batman number 1? Good question. I am a big Batman fan, but I'm a big X-Men fan. I mean, I have every Uncanny X-Men volumes 1 through 5. X-Men, which started with the Jim Lee #1, right? I have all 4 volumes of that. I have X-Men Legacy, which is really a continuation of that first X-Men run. I have all the annuals to those said ones. I have all of X-Men Gold. Um, might be a little bit of an X-Men fan, but as far as currently what big books that I'm seeking out currently, then probably so Batman, because I'm in the 200s. There are some pretty stiff keys in there, and I've bought as far as oldest books, those are Batmans. I have several Golden Age Batmans in my collection, so yeah, probably so. As far as if you want to talk value, my X-Men Volume 1, which is X-Men 1 through 544, CLZ does not count the annuals in that. So it'd be even more if the annuals were counted in that. All, 17, 18 annuals that's in Volume 1. So as far as value goes, my X-Men, Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 would be the most valuable right now. But, Batman is sneaking up on it just because there's just so many more issues, right? Copy 801, what's up? And X-Men is easier to collect than Batman. It is easier to collect than Batman. When you're talking about, the Batmans, and the ended with 713. So the Batmans, like in the 400s and 500s, you can find dollar bins all day long, right? You had, that was around the time of Nightfall. So the late 80s, early 90s, even into the 2000s. I mean, Batman, you get plenty of them. But you're talking about some stiff keys in those runs. Obviously, #1, that's a 1 day, maybe whatever, because I haven't really crossed what am I going to do once I get 200 to 713. Am I going to go from 100 to 200 at that point? What do I do at that point? I haven't decided that yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And so we'll see. I did want to get all of the main villains' first appearance, at least Silver Age first appearances. Mr. Freeze is the only one I lack on that. So I've got all the other ones. Almost anything is easier to collect than Batman. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Batman, he does have a huge fan base. He's probably the most popular character, at least right now, for DC. Certainly carries most of the titles. Yeah, right. Yeah, take out a second mortgage to get 1 through 200. Look, I have been so close to pulling the trigger on #1, and I could not justify it. Because there was like some that was even restored, but I mean, presented fantastic. And look, again, I don't really care, especially you get a 1. I mean, if you get a #1, Batman #1, okay, if you get a Batman #1, who is going to judge you for having a restored copy of it? Right? I mean, who's going to judge you for that, right? It's like, oh, that's a restore. Because sometimes people look at you because you got a restored book, and they're like, yeah, that's lesser. That's not really a thing. It's like you got to. Do not the Arnold one, even though Varangian might be biased in his view of that Mr. Freeze. But yeah, Joker is #1. Well, no, I meant like the Batman family. So Joker would be in that. Yeah, and Batman has a huge villain gallery, and Joker obviously being the #1, but it's like DC is not using the Riddler and some of these other guys like they could be using them. They just keep rotating Joker over and over again, which I hate, even though I'm a Joker fan, because they then start doing lackluster stuff with him. It gets worn out, kind of like Deadpool for me got wore out in Marvel. In the 90s, they did the same thing with Wolverine. He was in every single magazine. It's like, come on, guys, really? But I know exactly. But I looked at it and it was probably on the high side because Elite Comics had it, and they sell for other people, so they do a markup on there to make a little money above what the people want, and it was like under 40, and if you're investing, and that's what I would call a Batman #1, an investment. This is not a modern book. This is not something that just got hyped up on Key Collector. This is Batman #1, right? So if you're investing in a Batman #1, that's a pretty fair and pretty safe bet. My problem would be that to get rid of it, like even if it went up, even if it doubled, could I see myself getting rid of it? It's like, when would I ever get it back? I mean, I guess I could figure it out if I had went and needed to put a down payment on a new house or something like that. But then I'd be like, well, and I maybe with that big book you feel differently than what a modern book. Maybe I could let go of it and say, hey, I can say I've had one. Maybe that's good enough. Have not restored means nothing to me. Yeah, exactly. I've got a couple of green labels because they're incomplete. But the only purple label I had was that Hulk 182, and miraculously, CGC made the purple label go away. Yay! They add bugs to some people. They added pages back to mine because supposedly my book was trimmed before, and then it came back. It was not trimmed no more. Yay! So I much rather them add pages than add bugs to mine. Just saying. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Jay Blitz he did a CGC unboxing and they had a bug in it. So CGC and its wonderful quality control or lack thereof. Awkward sip of coffee, Pocan Joe. Awkward sip of coffee. Let me see here. Okay. What have we got her? So that is about going to wrap it up. Unless somebody wanted to add something in the chat, feel free to go ahead and add it in the chat. I have got a video dropping either Sunday or Monday with a mystery box opening from GameStop. That is a Funko Pop Mystery Box. They've started having those at GameStop, so I picked one up and unboxed it, and you'll see what I got there. Also, tomorrow, Saturday, March the 20th, the Saturday Morning Cartoon Crew, myself and others, will be on this channel at 1 p.m. Central Time selling books on the cheap. So if you are interested, come by and check it out. I'm going to wrap this up now. Look, I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all didn't know, Legion has had a nerdgasm. Okay. He is literally nerded out on the Snyder Cut. And so if you want to think about it, though, Justice League, it's like, okay, you set the bar so low. So what did Snyder really have to do to make it better? Not much, right? And I'm not dissing on it because I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying that it is like the bar's kind of low in the first place. But yeah, he was just like frothing at the mouth, like, oh, this is awesome. Sweet. It's only Friday. Yes, it is only Friday. Friday. Awkward sip of coffee. it's all in fun. So, talking about opening toys earlier, I opened up my Grimlock that I had bought earlier this week, and I had posed him in front of one of my sketch covers, which we were talking about original art earlier too. And me, Grimlock, no bozo, me king. So, I think that the vast majority of the stuff that we collect or get is fulfilling childhood fantasies, if you will. So we either go back and get the stuff that we had as a kid or that we never could get as a kid. Grimlock was one of those I never could get. I had the Brontosaurus. I can't remember his name I want to say Sledge, but I think that's the Triceratops's name. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. But I never could get Grimlock, so I can get what I want now. Let's see. Yeah, that's a pretty dope cover. I had gotten, and I think you're actually the one that had told me about it. The Soundwave one. Which one is the one I got? I got the Soundwave one. Might be the Grimlock one. Transformers here. Oh, there it is. Oh, it is the Grimlock one. Yeah. You want? I think you want to showed it to me, or I seen it somewhere. What threw me was him being in Autobot form as opposed to the T-Rex. But John Jane killed it on this. A lot of little details on this that are really cool. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is the other one I got. Yeah, I liked the Soundwave and Soundwave throws an additional amount of nostalgia with him just because of the cassette deck. And Soundwave is one of those that I never could get as a kid either. So yeah, but he did an awesome job on those. Reggie. Okay. When I got those, I actually thought those were the foil covers, because didn't they come with foil covers? But these were the non-foil covers. These were the non-foil. So I'm kind of working on my Transformers stuff too. And of course, it's funny because it lists Killlock up here. The guy that drew some of that Transformer stuff is the guy that done Killlock. He's the one that did this sketch cover. Did that sketch cover for me. And if you're a certain age, you got the touch. You got the power just went off in your mind. But yeah, the original Marvel run and the one with the original Marvel run, the early ones are not the hard ones really to get. I mean, they are expensive, but they're really not the hard ones to get. It's the latter ones when they were getting down to so close to the end there. And a lot of times people don't even realize, the great art that was on there. I mean, that's Jim Lee right there. Jim Lee in his prime. I mean, that's June 1990. When did X-Men come out? 91. So he was already drawing X-Men there. Dare to be stupid. The US and the UK run. Yeah, I want to get that UK one that has the Death's Head one that has Rodimus Prime on the front of it. I've thought about I've got the recreation of the old Rodimus Prime, But then I noticed at Target or somewhere that they had a studio series like they had with this, and it actually has the little back here, and he has the matrix of leadership. And so I thought about getting that too, but I don't know. Got to draw the line somewhere. But where do you draw it? Where do you draw it? That is the question. That is the question. And I guess it's different for different folks too. But yeah, I had the first death's head. Luckily, it is easier to hunt down near. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Um, that does make sense. Well, thanks to everybody for hanging out with me today. Be sure to smash that like button. Helps with the YouTube algorithm, and the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification, so that you know when videos like this drop ever so randomly. If you're looking for some books in particular, you can DM me and let me know. But if you just want to be surprised but what myself and others are going to bring tomorrow, come hang out with us at 1 p.m. Central Time. So hopefully this weekend everybody can chillax a little bit, get caught up on some comics, pull some toys out of the box, or whatever you want to do. And until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.